Everyone carries a shadow, a hidden part of their psyche, and the less integrated it is into an individual's conscious life, the darker and more destructive it becomes. Carl Jung, a pioneering psychologist, emphasized the shadow as an integral aspect of our inner world. If an inferiority or negative trait is brought into consciousness, there is hope for correction. However, when these traits are repressed, they grow in strength and unpredictability, eventually manifesting as obstacles to our best intentions, or even exploding in moments of vulnerability. Jung categorizes the shadow into two distinct types: the personal shadow, representing the unknown dark side of an individual's personality, and the collective shadow, reflecting the hidden darkness of society. The personal shadow comprises the traits and qualities we refuse to accept about ourselves. It represents everything we do not wish to be, and all the attributes we suppress because they appear weak, socially unacceptable, or even immoral. This shadow often becomes evident when we lose control, such as in moments of intense emotion, anxiety, or even under the influence of substances. For instance, a friendly conversation might unexpectedly escalate into hostility due to the release of suppressed feelings. Jung asserted that it is possible to become aware of one's shadow, thereby gaining some degree of control over it. However, many people remain in denial about their shadow, allowing it to operate independently. This lack of awareness can lead to inexplicable irritability, mood swings, and even cruelty. Despite its perceived negativity, the shadow contains hidden strengths, instincts, and creative impulses. Jung's collaborator, Marie-Louise von Franz, highlighted that the shadow is not always an opponent. It can provide guidance and balance when acknowledged. For example, individuals who suppress assertiveness as aggression might miss out on opportunities to advocate for themselves, leading to dissatisfaction in various aspects of life. Encountering someone assertive might evoke resentment, further deepening the shadow. Recognizing and integrating such qualities is crucial for personal growth. Jung referred to this process as shadow work, a path of self-awareness requiring individuals to identify, confront, and reconcile with their shadow traits. Dreams often reveal the shadow as a person of the same gender as the dreamer, serving as an internal critique of one's character. This can be an uncomfortable experience, as the shadow calls attention to flaws and weaknesses we'd rather ignore. Jung described the process of integrating the shadow as a long and arduous journey of self-education, akin to the labors of Hercules. Shadow work involves observing emotional reactions, being radically honest with oneself, and exploring the symbols and messages in dreams. By bringing the shadow into the light of consciousness, individuals can reduce its destructive potential and harness its creative and positive aspects. As Jung eloquently stated, "There is no light without the shadow, and no psychic wholeness without imperfection." The goal is not perfection, but a balanced integration of the conscious and unconscious mind, a process Jung termed individuation. Beyond the personal shadow lies the collective shadow, the unknown and often horrifying aspects of society and culture. This shadow represents everything that opposes shared values and manifests in acts of violence, oppression, and destruction. The collective shadow can be seen in historical atrocities such as wars, genocides, and systemic oppression. It is not only external but also internalized, leading to self-hatred, feelings of powerlessness, and a desire for revenge. The collective shadow also hides beneath seemingly noble endeavors, such as missionary activities or cultural assimilation, which often mask underlying harm and control. These shadows perpetuate suffering across generations, influencing both individual psyches and societal structures. For example, the aftermath of war and colonialism often leaves deep scars, creating cycles of trauma and displacement. Jung believed that confronting the collective shadow required relentless self-knowledge and the courage to acknowledge both personal and societal responsibility. Denial and projection only perpetuate the shadow's influence, whereas conscious integration allows for healing and transformation. By addressing historical injustices and their ongoing impacts, humanity can take steps toward collective wholeness. The process of shadow integration is not just a psychological endeavor, but a spiritual one. Jung argued that authenticity requires individuals to confront their shadow, discerning truth from distortion. This involves exploring buried parts of the self, acknowledging limitations and embracing imperfections. While most people shy away from such introspection, true growth demands a deep excavation of the psyche. At the societal level, acknowledging the collective shadow involves taking responsibility for historical and ongoing harm. This includes addressing the legacies of war, systemic oppression, and environmental destruction. Jung warned against labeling the shadow as purely evil, as this polarizes and alienates parts of the psyche that must be reconciled for genuine wholeness. Instead, he advocated for a nuanced understanding of the shadow as a source of both destruction and potential. Self-reflection. Begin by observing emotional triggers and patterns of behavior. Note moments of disproportionate anger, fear, or resentment, as they often point to shadow aspects. Dream analysis. Pay attention to recurring themes in dreams as they offer valuable insights into the unconscious mind. Radical honesty. Be brutally honest about your shortcomings and vulnerabilities, creating space for growth and self-acceptance. Projection awareness. Recognize when you are projecting your shadow onto others. Ask yourself whether traits you dislike in others might reflect suppressed aspects of yourself. Creative expression. Engage in art, writing, or other creative outlets to explore hidden emotions and instincts. The shadow, whether personal or collective, is an integral part of the human experience. Confronting it requires courage, honesty, and a willingness to embrace discomfort. As Jung emphasized, there is no light without the shadow. By integrating the shadow into consciousness, individuals can achieve greater authenticity, balance, and wholeness. On a broader scale, acknowledging the collective shadow offers an opportunity for societal transformation. By taking responsibility for historical and cultural wounds, humanity can begin to heal and create a more just and compassionate world. The shadow, when understood and embraced, becomes a source of strength, creativity, and profound wisdom. Through shadow work, we move closer to the wholeness of our true selves, aligning the light and dark within us to illuminate the path forward.